You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10.
Good evening and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Natalie Clydesdale. We begin tonight at 10 with checking in on your forecast. Aaron Brackett's in the Forewarned Storm Center tracking when we can finally climb out of this cold. Aaron?
Well, would you believe it's already happening right now? Our winds are shifting around. It's a southerly wind, and that's going to keep our lows not nearly as cold for tonight. You know, it was 9 this morning in Kingfisher. A lot warmer here for tonight and certainly the week ahead. Outside live, a little bit of wind, not a lot, but there'll be a lot more wind the next couple days. It was just 49 degrees today at Oklahoma City, but look at the Panhandle, 60 in Guymon, so that's a sign of what's to come. Right now, temperatures, they've kind of had their initial decline, and now they're not going to do too much movement here. 39 in Oklahoma City, 37 in Guthrie. The 40s, though, still hanging on where we have a little bit more of that south wind out in northwestern Oklahoma. So much warmer for tomorrow. Lots and lots of wind, not just tomorrow, really the entire week. The wind, the warmer temperatures, they're ingredients for severe thunderstorms that we'll be talking about here coming up. So this is on Thursday after a couple days of warming. Possibility of severe thunderstorms, high winds, hail, maybe even a tornado threat with this. Again, a lot of days between now and then. But we're going to narrow this down here for you, talk about our warm-up and the severe weather chance coming up.
Thanks, Aaron. The McAllister Police Department is asking for prayers as one of their own is still clinging to life in a Tulsa hospital. And they say they need a miracle to save Officer Joseph Barlow. Tragedy struck when a truck hit Officer Barlow's cruiser head-on. And a miracle is what dozens of first responders and members of the community prayed for Saturday afternoon on the police department steps. And those who call Officer Barlow a friend, colleague, or brother say they're hit hard by his absence.
Yeah, we are. We're dealing with it one day at a time.
This isn't fair, in all honesty. The kid had a heart of gold, and we need a miracle.
Officer Barlow remains in critical condition in Tulsa after having multiple surgeries to save his life. The driver, Martin Rodriguez Rivas, remains in police custody after being booked on complaints of driving illegally while causing great bodily harm and driving without a license. And tonight on Crime Watch, an inmate escaping from the Bill Johnson Correctional Center in Alva. Police say a vehicle has been stolen from the Alva area, and police are also confirming the inmate is no longer in Alva. The Woods County Sheriff's Office says this is Joey Mena, and he's considered armed and dangerous. According to records from the Department of Corrections, Mena has been locked up for crimes like stolen property and grand larceny. The Woods County Sheriff's Office says residents need to make sure their doors are locked and keys are not left in their vehicles. If you know where Mena is, you're asked to call police. Well, a Midwest City woman says she is now left with nothing after a house fire Saturday night. We first brought you the story this evening at 5, and tonight we're now hearing from more family members who say they're distraught over the situation. News 4's Taylor Mitchell joins us live in studio after talking with them today. Taylor?
Well, Natalie, the Midwest City Fire Department says the blaze started in the garage and eventually ate its way through the entire home. The family tells us it's not about the material items lost, but it's about the memories that are now gone. They also say they are grateful no family members were killed.
It was like of a horror movie. Like literally, I was terrified. I was distraught, shocked, just hysterical.
The homeowner, Candace Moten, says she was at work when the blaze began, but her son and 2 grandchildren were sleeping in this room when it happened.
I pulled up to get ready to come in the house. They were running out, screaming, call 911.
Moten, now with nothing, says she's grateful everyone made it out alive, but her son is now left with a burn on his leg.
His pants leg was on fire, and he put it out, and his socks was on fire, and so his feet was blistered from the fire.
The scene Saturday night as crews worked to save the home. Unfortunately, Moten lost everything, including her service dog that was in the garage at the time of the fire.
My pregnant Rottweiler died, and they busted the back window to get my cat out.
Moten's family in tears, but now coming together in a time of need.
My door is always open. She has a place to stay. It's crazy because in a matter of seconds, you could lose everything.
Shantae Bryant, Moten's niece, says the home held several family keepsakes, but all that matters is everyone is safe.
She kept everything, like an archive of just family memories, videos, pictures of family members that passed away.
Moten's granddaughter, there at the time of the fire, says it was scary, but she's more worried about her grandmother.
I feel very sad because My grandmother has nowhere to stay. She has to stay with family. She doesn't have her house.
Well, the Midwest City Fire Department tells us there will be no further investigation. The family has set up a GoFundMe for her, so if you'd like to donate or help, you can visit our website at KFOR.com for more information. Natalie?
Thanks, Taylor. Now turning to a deadly car crash out of Lincoln County. A person hit possibly twice by cars was found dead on the side of the road. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol tells us it happened on Interstate 44 around mile marker 162, 4 miles west of Chandler. In the report, the trooper mentions 2 vehicles and a 19-year-old man on the side of the road. The 19-year-old was pronounced dead after being hurt during this collision. Troopers say what happened is still under investigation. New tonight, a semi-rollover off of Southwest 59th and I-44. Take a look at that. The rollover happening just barely after 12 this afternoon. A spokesperson for the Oklahoma Highway Patrol told News 4 they believe the driver is hurt, but they do not know the extent of how bad those injuries are. Thankfully, no other vehicles were involved. Well, things to know around town. Starting Monday, more construction will be happening at Embark's downtown transit center. Embark is letting people know Bay's LQ&I will be temporarily relocated, and sidewalk access on the north side is going to be affected by the construction. The construction is part of a $1.8 million remodeling project. And another project going on that may affect your route. The Department of Transportation will be taking care of a bridge along the interstates. Eastbound lanes on I-44 will be narrowing to 1 lane at I-35, mile marker 130. This will be from 9 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. The department says the work is part of an ongoing project in the area. And around the state, this was the former president's first trip to Tulsa since his rally at the BOK Center 3 years ago. He was in town for the NCAA Wrestling Championship and was invited by Senator Markwayne Mullin. Those close to him stressed that last night was not about politics. Governor Kevin Stitt sharing his excitement, saying it's not every day that a former president comes to town.
Having the president or a former president show up here in Tulsa is just a great deal for our state.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he wrestled a little bit himself, and he wants to come here and have a good night and leave politics out of it.
Donald Trump flew into town Saturday afternoon and was welcomed by many supporters, but others said they hope he doesn't take the attention away from the wrestlers.
I think it's really exciting. I think it's good for the wrestling community because, I mean, a former president coming to a wrestling event is awesome. I mean,
if he comes in and makes a big deal, then he should leave. This is for those kids who worked all years, 4 years, 5 years of their career. This is the epitome of their career right now. If he takes away from that, then I want nothing.
Well, as far as security concerns, workers there say it was much easier to handle and much less intense yesterday compared to back when he was president. Well, a new heart surgery saving lives and cutting down recovery times. Up next, how a new kind of operation could help you keep you breathing and get you back out there faster than normal.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 Sunday edition with Adria Goins, Aaron Brackett, and Dylan Buckingham, bringing you more local news, more local weather. Oklahoma's News 4, looking out for you.
A 17-year-old is looking forward to resuming his college plans after a new kind of open heart surgery. It had never been done at Oklahoma Children's Hospital OU Health, but because of the success, the new procedure is now available to patients like him. News 4's Caitlin Ogle has the story.
It was scary. I mean, we've never gone through something like this.
Besides the scar on his chest, you'd never know Ator Martinez had open heart surgery a month ago. A year earlier, at his annual physical, the doctor found something.
The physician said that she heard a murmur in his heart.
They learned the 17-year-old soccer player had been born with a congenital heart defect. Ator just made the varsity team, and he could no longer play.
It was a really scary moment for all of us, the family.
The fix? Open heart surgery on his aortic valve. That typically takes weeks to recover from. But there was a new procedure, never done before, at Oklahoma Children's Hospital OU Health.
In November, he called us again and said that there was this new technique that they were doing out of the country, that instead of replacement the valve, they restoring the valve.
The day before, they were like, oh, yeah, we're gonna watch, or someone's gonna talk to us about the procedure because we've never done this. And I was like, oh, okay, that's good. But no, I mean, I felt really, really comfortable with everything.
After being sedated for 5 hours, Ator woke up. The surgery was a success.
Because they repaired it, they expected a much quicker recovery.
It was really amazing watching him walking the next day.
After 5 days in the ICU, he was released. And since the procedure went off without a hitch, the hospital says it can now offer it to patients just like a tour.
I feel really good that this is now like an option for more people. I feel like I'm ready to go and, conquer the world or something.
In Oklahoma City, Caitlin Ogle, Oklahoma's News 4.
Well, so glad he's okay. The Martinez family says they're excited to see what the future holds for a tour, even if that means going out of state for college. And if everything continues to go this well, maybe he'll be able to play soccer again. Well, let's send it back over to Aaron for a look at what's ahead in weather.
There's a lot ahead here. We're talking about a lot of Oklahoma wind, a huge warm up, 70s, even close to 80 degrees, and all that warmth driving severe weather chances. That is next.
Forewarn Weather, sponsored by Oklahoma Generator. Now, Forewarn Weather with Aaron Brackett.
Well, I hope you had a good weekend. It was a chilly one, to say the very, very least. At least we had the sunshine pretty much all day today and all day yesterday. Temperatures, though, in the 40s for highs. Now we're already seeing things changing around wind-wise. Even tonight, lows will not be as cold. Tomorrow's going to be much, much warmer. We look outside, and there were no clouds in central Oklahoma. Very few anywhere near the state here throughout the day today. And you see a little bit of vibration here in the camera, just a tiny bit. That's the wind coming back. It's a southerly wind now, which is definitely a change all the way from Thursday, when this cold weather started, when it came around. Southeast wind at 10, it's not a lot of wind. It's 40 in Oklahoma City, and that 40-degree temperature will not really go that much lower here going forward overnight tonight. Look at the temperature change map. A lot of warm colors on here, especially off to the north and northwest. Again, these are places that saw those winds change around a little bit quicker than places in central and eastern Oklahoma. We do have some 30s over there, 40s hanging on in the western parts of the state. And here's the winds, again, kind of curling in from the southeast. You notice that the higher wind speeds are also in western Oklahoma. And that wind is going to be problematic, really, the next couple days. The ongoing drought, the very, very tinderbox dry vegetation, especially west and northwest. We're going to have some pretty hot colors on here for our fire danger, especially north central and northwestern Oklahoma. Critical fire spread concerns tomorrow, again on Tuesday, and pretty much most of the week here going forward. All right, so a little teeny tiny stationary or warm front here out in the western parts of our state. That's where the kind of edge of the warm air exists right now. And as we go through tonight, well, not much changes until we get to tomorrow, where clouds start to kind of stream in. This is a very weak system. It's going to come in here Monday evening into early Tuesday. And yes, there's some green on the radar map early Tuesday, right around a couple hours pre-dawn and then just after. Notice the rain, it's in, it's out, scoots out of here, and unfortunately it avoids northern parts of the state where we need every little last drop. Fast forwarding again, a couple days here. This is our Thursday. Front will be right somewhere in the middle part of the state. Along that, showers, thunderstorms, some of them severe, and hopefully in the wraparound of this, as we go toward Thursday night into Friday, hopefully we can get at least some sort of precip to northern northwestern Oklahoma. They need it so desperately. So this is the little bout of rain that comes in here Monday night. Healthier totals look very likely by Thursday, especially central, eastern, and even into southern parts of the state. So tonight, 35. Kingfisher was 9 degrees last night and early this morning. A big, big rise in temperatures. South winds about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies. The clouds, though, start to gather up from west to east early tomorrow. You see statewide, we're all pretty uniform in our temperatures. And then tomorrow, higher winds, 20 to 30 miles per hour. Higher temperatures, 58 in Oklahoma City. 60s kind of surrounding us here. First day of spring coming in good. And here's that little bout of rain that comes overnight Monday, more so into early Tuesday morning. You see temperatures, though, not nearly as cold. These are low temperatures Monday into Tuesday. Thursday, severe weather. Again, we're going to be watching this here. The placement of the front could be a dry line interacting with all of this. All hazards appear possible, and of course, we'll stay right on top of that here the next couple days as we get closer. So warmer, breezy, increasing clouds throughout the day tomorrow. If you don't mind the wind, not a bad day. There's that little chance of showers Monday night into Tuesday. 78 on Wednesday, 73 with a strong and severe thunderstorm potential on Thursday. You see temperatures do drop by about 20 degrees from Thursday to Friday, only to recover pretty quickly. So again, this front is not like the last one that we had. The cold weather's not going to stick around for a long time. And you see, all after Thursday, rain chances appear to be pretty minimal going forward. And of course, that ongoing Oklahoma drought will continue. The drought in Kansas and northern Oklahoma, it's the most expansive, largest severe drought in the entire country right now.
Well, hopefully we do get that rain this week.
Need every drop.
Well, coming up, Eastern Washington reaches out to an unlikely source to try to help them beat Oklahoma State. Plus, did Oklahoma City's Young Thunder notch their biggest win of the season? Why it would mean so much more than just one of 82. That's next on Oklahoma's News 4.
Looking out for your morning, Oklahoma's News 4.
Now, sports with Dylan Buckingham.
They're the youngest team in the league, and it appears ahead of schedule in their rebuild. Already with 10 more wins than Vegas thought they'd get, the Thunder played host to the Suns, hoping to keep their play-in game hopes strong, especially with a 4-game West Coast road swing ahead this week. Let's take you out there to Paycom. Lou Dort has been very good offensively last couple of games. Thunder trailed by as many as 15. In the fourth, though, they went on an 18-2 burst. Lou Dort 3 gives OKC their first lead since 2-0. He had 20. Moments later, 3 of Isaiah Joe's 15 points, and the Thunder defense really propelled them during this run. Check out Aaron Wiggins. Steal, layup, foul. He had just a kind of a quiet 8 off the bench there, but yeah, SGA, he was a story. 7th career 40-point game. The Thunder win 124-120, a grown-up win for a young team.
The key to that type of win is just like staying alive long enough for when the game turns. You know, end of the first quarter, first half, times in the third, even early in the fourth. I thought those were opportunities for them to extend the lead, and we just kind of kept ourselves in it long enough for the game to turn. Yeah, I mean, the crowd was a difference in the game tonight. That was huge, and we need that every night, you know, every home game from here on out. They were massive.
The last time Oklahoma State and Eastern Washington met, it was 2004, and Eddie Sutton's Cowboys were beginning a run to the Final Four. Fast forward to now, Mike Boynton's Cowboys are looking to make a run to the NIT championship. But Eastern Washington had an extra coach for this one. They reached out to Tanner Groves to get a scouting report on the Cowboys in this one, and guess who was in attendance for it? Yeah, Tanner Groves, the former Eastern Washington player, as well as current, I guess, former Sooner now. First half, though, OSU got off to a slow start, but Tyreek Smith changes that fast, plus the foul. He had 11 and 10. Later in the first, Caleb Boone throwing it down. OSU had a 9-point halftime lead. In the second half, John Michael Wright, the right stuff. In the corner right there, he added 11 points for Oklahoma State. Then late in the second half, Bryce Thompson put a bow on this thing. He had 6 triples, game high 22 points. Cowboys win 71-60. They host North Texas Tuesday at 6. Holden Kruzmark, though, recaps the Eagles game.
OSU got big play after big play against Eastern Washington, and for just the second time in the last 8 games, the Cowboys eclipsed the 70-point mark.
It's hard for people to double me if they knock it down shots like that, so it just kind of keeps everybody out balanced. They don't know what's the next move, so them making threes is big time for real.
Obviously, we didn't get to make the tournament, but, you know, we're still going out there playing hard, you know, executing the game plan, and just doing everything that we're supposed to do. 'Cause, you know, we have those amazing fans out there coming to see us, man. We got to make sure that, you know, we stay on that and we go out there and we have fun and we kind of give them a show.
I think what we got to focus on is being the best version of ourselves on the defensive end, no matter what, because we're not going to always make 11 threes. If we're making shots, we're really hard to beat because we are still really, really good defensively. I mean, I don't know when it was until that last shot that they scored, when they had scored again. I mean, I looked up and they were stuck for a long time. We have the ability, and we've done this against a lot of teams. The best teams we played, you know, throughout the season, we've held them for long periods without scoring. And if we can continue to do that, we'll give ourselves a chance to continue to play.
OSU advances to the NIT quarterfinals, where they'll take on North Texas here at Gallagher-Iba Arena. In Stillwater, Holden Kruzmark, Oklahoma's News 4 Sports.
Thank you, Holden. The Oklahoma Sooners made quick work of the Portland Pilots in their first-round tournament win last night. 5 Sooners finished in double figures. Oklahoma never really had a big scare from the Pilots during the contest. Jenny Baranchek says it's because her team played together from start to finish.
I thought, you know, we got to play a really good Portland team. I think it took us a little bit, honestly. They've got great size. We came in and you could tell that we obviously respected them, didn't know them, they didn't know us. That's one of the best parts about playing in March. And I'm really proud of the team basketball because it wasn't always pretty at all times. And at the same time, I thought we did a really great job of covering for each other today.
Meanwhile, Oklahoma State's season ended with a heartbreaking loss to Miami in the first round. The Cowgirls built a 17-point lead over the Hurricane, only to lose it in the second half after a brutal third quarter. J.C. Hoyt was obviously heartbroken over the loss, but is proud of how her first season in OSU went.
It's hard to talk after a loss like that. I think the biggest thing outside of the obvious outcome of the game is just that I'm incredibly proud of what this team has accomplished this season. Getting to be the head coach at Oklahoma State is truly the honor of my lifetime, and I'm so proud of what we built.
They're off to a great start in the J.C. Hoyt era. Coming up, a dream come true for a kid from Edmond, Oklahoma. We'll tell you about his life-changing Sunday. Plus, an absolutely monster day on the diamond, but one of our state schools came up just a little bit short. Find out who next. Welcome back. Edmond Memorial's own Taylor Moore picked up his first PGA Tour win, taking home the Valspar Championship. While that's big in its own right, it's even bigger because Moore now has an exemption into the Masters next month. Congratulations to him. Oklahoma taking on TCU today on the diamond. Bottom of the 7th, tied at 2. This is Anthony McKenzie with 2 on, and that was clutch because John Spikerman and Kendall Pettis score, and the Sooners take the series from TCU 7-5. Big win for Oklahoma. Might get in the top 25 now. As for Oklahoma State, not as good of a day. Bottom of the 5th, 2-1 Texas Tech. Bases loaded. Austin Green. It's a grand slam. That's part of a 10-run inning. Texas Tech wins this game 12-1. They take the series with OSU. OU softball taking on Auburn today, looking to sweep this thing. Bottom of the 3rd, 2-1 Sooners. 1 on for Tiari Jennings. That's gone. A 2-run shot. Sooners win 7-1. They go 5-0 this weekend and outscored everyone 48-3. That's pretty good. Lots of points. And then Oklahoma State taking on UCF. The coolest part of the day, OSU up 7-4. 1 on for Scotland David. Not a name we usually say. That's a pinch hit home run, the first of her career. Oklahoma State, they sweep the Mizuno Classic with a 9-4 win over UCF, guys. Weather was somewhat cooperative, kind of cold.
Kind of chilly, not a lot of wind though.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And sunny. Sun getting stronger each and every day. Spring begins tomorrow. How about that? 58. Temperatures a good 10 to 12 degrees warmer than what they were today. We warm up all the way through the middle of the week. Lots of wind, too. So those allergy sufferers, yeah, we're going to be feeling it here. 73 degrees on Thursday. We're going to watch a cold front that's going to kind of stall, a little dry line in the mix as well. Could bring some severe weather, some flooding potential. And then we see cooler temperatures behind it Friday, Saturday, but not terrible. You know, our cold weather that we've had all weekend, that was brought on by Thursday's front. It lasted that long, and this is simply not going to be one of those cases. After the rain on Thursday, though, pretty slim to none as far as the rain chances continue. 50s and 60s beyond that.
Well, thanks for joining us and have a great night.